Reading books is a complete waste of time. Why should I spend hours and hours reading books when I'm not even sure if I'm going to gain anything out of them? I think whenever you start reading books, especially non-fiction books, this thing and these ideas might come to your mind. On my channel, I often talk about why reading books is important and how you can gain so much from a book which costs hardly 250 or 300 rupees. But in this video, I'm going to talk about a completely opposite idea, which is about how reading books might not help you, and if you're reading books in this manner, it might not benefit you. Now, before you jump to any conclusions, make sure you watch this video till the end to get what I am saying. The Joe Rogan Experience is one of my favorite podcasts, and one of my favorite podcast episodes of this is the Naval Ravikant episode. So Naval Ravikant, in case you don't know, he's an investor and he is someone who talks very passionately about life advice and how to become rich. But he's also passionate about books and he has gained a lot of knowledge from books. So in this episode of the podcast, they discuss about a lot of things and they also discuss about books. And Naval Ravikant, in this episode, he shares an idea which says that reading books might not be as beneficial as it is. But let's not jump to conclusions. Let's try and understand 3 ideas from this episode to see what he actually wants to talk about.
The reality is I would rather read the best 100 books over and over again until I absorb them rather than read all the books.
So the first idea that he talks about is that there is a lot of information to be gained from reading a book. So if you read a book, for example, a non-fiction self-help book which talks about a particular aspect of life, and the book is around 250 to 300 pages long, there are so many ideas in that book, and it might not be the case that you will enjoy every book that you read. Let's say if you read 10 books, you might enjoy 2 or 3 of those books. But there are so many other books in the world, and if you possibly try to read them all, you might not be able to do it. So the best advice, the better advice is to get to few books which actually matter to you and which you are able to apply in your life, and read only those books. So this actually means you will not be able to read a lot of books, but the ones which you will read, you will be able to apply them in your life and you will actually benefit from them rather than just reading books again and again without getting anything out of them.
Our brain has finite information in finite space. You get enough advice, it all cancels to zero. There's a lot of nonsense in books out there too.
The second advice which I received from this episode was a little difficult to digest, but I eventually got to understand it. And the idea says that there is a lot of nonsense in books. And if you are reading a non-fiction book, if it is probably written in some other country, in some other environment, and in some completely different situation, a lot of things which are mentioned in that book might not apply to your life or might not be able to apply to your environment. For example, if I'm living in India, I'm reading a book which is written in the United States, a lot of things from that particular book might not be applicable here, but I will still read the book. I'll read the whole book and try to see what is applicable to me and only apply those things in my life. But this habit can be a little bit difficult because there is a lot of fluff in the books. So fluff basically means the things which are not applicable to your life. To identify the things which are actually applicable in your life, you will have to read a lot of books, and then only you will get into that habit and get into that idea. So essentially what you want to do is only find out those pieces of advice and only those things in the book which are actually applicable to your life and go ahead and apply them. So try to do this as well, but this will only come after you get a practice of reading more and more books.
So I no longer track books read or even care about books read. It's about understanding concepts.
When I was young and I actually started reading books, I want to tell you that I always used to think that books will solve some of my most advanced problems and some of my most advanced things which give me issues in my life. But this episode really brought me back down to earth, and I got to know about something which really blew my mind, and this thing was reading for understanding the basics. So try to understand this thing. If you're starting any kind of venture, any kind of startup, any company or YouTube channel, you will have to take care of a lot of things on your own. So for example, if I'm running this YouTube channel, I handle the shooting of the video, I handle the background of my environment, I handle the video editing, I handle the video optimization, the SEO, uploading my video. So I'm wearing so many hats, I'm doing so many things at once, and it is important for me that I understand the basics of each and every thing in the process of video making. So if you understand the basics, you will be able to proceed with at least starting out, and then on your journey, when you are on that journey of building your own company or building your own startup, you will learn a lot of things. So for example, when I started working on this channel, I didn't know anything about having the correct camera settings, about having the correct audio from the mic, about doing the best editing, and about uploading, how to upload videos on YouTube to get the best out of them. And I didn't know any of these things, but as I uploaded so many videos and now I have uploaded so many of them, I have got to know this thing. So you learn on the job, but before that you at least need to understand the basics. According to Naval Ravikant, he always says that basics are important: basic accounting, basic economics, basic science. So all these basic things, if you know, you will at least be able to proceed with it, and then on your way you will learn. And obviously later on in the venture you can also hire people to work on it, but in the beginning you don't have the investment to do, so you will have to handle these things on your own. So learn the basics and read for understanding. This is the third idea which I wanted to share from this great podcast episode. So these were 3 ideas from the podcast episode of Naval Ravikant with Joe Rogan. You can definitely listen to this whole episode. It is full of so many ideas and so many great things of wisdom. I will leave the link to the episode in the description, and definitely check it out. It's one of my favorites, and I just wanted to share something different which I have not shared on my channel previously, and this was some idea which really stuck with me. So let me know how you found it, and if you enjoyed the video, please press the like button, and I will see you guys in the next video very soon. Thank you for watching.